What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ariel if you didn't know. Oh, my eye is watering. So today's video is going to be all about classic lashes. I am so excited to do this video because I did a little demo for you guys and I can't wait for you guys to see what I have to say. Okay, I'm about to blow your mind on some classic tips, some classic lashes tips. These are some things that actually have helped me in a huge way with classic lashing, and I think perfecting your classic lashes is something that people don't necessarily think about because you just think it's just the way you apply the lashes and you're done, but there's so many little things you can do to adjust how your classic lashes look, and I'm going to show you my favorite number one tip on how to make your classic lashes better. Fluffier, fuller, nicer, more customizable, to be honest. But okay, so generally speaking, when you talk about classic lashes, you are talking about a individual application, so one eyelash extension to one natural lash, and you won't have any more lashes than you naturally have. They'll just be longer, thicker, fuller. So that's the idea with classic lashes. It just gives you like a nice natural look, but there's different ways you can go about it, and there's so many little things you can do to make your classic lashes just look better. My number one tip is to think about what you're using on your client and how what you're using is benefiting your client. So what I mean by that is don't use the exact same weight, length, curl on each client because everyone's different, and whatever your client asks for, just because they ask for a classic set doesn't necessarily mean it just has to be a classic set. It could be a classic dense set, it could be a classic fluffy set, it could be a classic full set. There's just different things you can do, and you want to be able to let your client know that they have options even if they're just looking for a classic set, because sometimes we kind of talk down classics and make them sound super boring or make them sound like they're just like your basic set, but there are definitely things you can do to customize your classic set. So let's talk about my favorite one. So when it comes to diameter about classic lashes, you usually go for a point, well, generally when you're talking about classics, it's a 0.10 up to a 0.30. I have personally never used a 0.30. I will not use a 0.30 because I don't understand how that's even, how that's not bad for your client's lashes. I don't understand. Anyways, so generally I use a 0.15 or a 0.20. Those are usually where I feel comfortable and what I feel comfortable putting on my clients without any damage. So that means my healthier clients will get a 0.20, and then technically my not so healthy clients, meaning their lashes are weaker, a little bit more fragile, would get the 0.15. But there's something you can do to kind of help customize this. So that doesn't mean that you necessarily have to use 0.20s on those healthy the healthy thick full lashes, because you can always change up the style by changing your diameter. This is something that I feel like isn't done enough, and people don't understand why you use different diameters. So it's usually people just think it's the weight, and having a heavier weight will mean a thicker, fuller, longer set, or just a more dramatic set, and a lighter weight will just be more of a natural set, but that's not it. That's actually not the case at all. So it just depends on the look your client's going for. So what I mean by that is if your client's looking for a nice, dark, dense looking set, then a 0.20 is the way to go, because you're gonna have a darker, maybe more prominent set, because you'll see it more. It'll be a little more visible because it'll be darker and just a little bit more bold in that sense. But if you're looking for a fluffier, fuller set, then you want to go for a 0.15. I feel like someone out there is like, what the hell are you talking about? How could a lighter weight be fuller when the heavier weight is thicker, so that means that you'd have a fuller look? But that's not it at all. It's really weird, I feel, because I think logically you'd think that a heavier weight would mean denser, thicker, fuller sets, but that's not it. It's the opposite, actually. So I'm going to quickly show you guys exactly what I mean. I did a little demo on my mannequin head, which is available at Flourish Lashes, but I will link everything down below, lashes and all, in my description. Okay, so this is my beautiful mannequin head. I have two different sets on here. Well, they're both classics, but one is a 0.20 and one is a 0.15. So from the top view right now, I personally think there's not like a massive difference. You may or may not be able to tell which one's which, but I'm gonna tell you in a second. But technically one does look a little bit darker than the other, and one looks maybe a little fuller than the other. So our 0.20s are actually on this side here. So those are the 0.20s from end to end. They're all C curl and they're all 12 millimeters. So I did them all the same length so that the shapes wouldn't change. And you can actually see the difference in the lashes versus the style or anything like that. So you can tell that they're a little bit darker. I can't go super close, but I'm going to try. You can see that the actual lashes look bold and they look a little bit more defined because they're a little bit thicker. So they are both lashes will be split tips. They're the flat lashes from Flourish Lashes, but they are definitely bolder, definitely darker, definitely a little bit more dense. So you can't necessarily see a huge difference on the top view like I said, but see here too, this is our 0.15s. They do look a little bit fuller here. They look a little bit fluffier, but they are thinner. They may not be as black, but to me they look pretty black from the top view. Honestly, I don't really see a massive difference, but you will see it when I show you the next view. So you can tell top views aren't a huge difference, but definitely this side is a little bolder, this side is a little thinner, a little lighter. Okay, now when we flip her over, you can see a lot. I mean, I hope that you can see it because I can see it. There is definitely a big difference. Both sides have the same amount of lashes because I lashed end to end from both, but you can see this is our 0.20 side. Definitely pretty, definitely dark, but it does have a scantier look to it. There's definitely more spaces. You can definitely tell where the lashes are, and you can see I don't want to say gaps, but they do have spaces in between them, which is fine because that's what our natural lashes look like. And again, a classic lash, it's just to enhance what you naturally have. So you can see the end is nice and dark, nice and bold, but you can clearly see the spaces in between them, right? You definitely get that split tip vibe because of course they're still split tips. Okay, so once we shift over to the 0.15s, it's funny how the 0.15s actually look cleaner, and I feel like they look better done when I actually just tried to do equally the same amount on each side or equally the same quality on each side. But the 0.15s actually look fuller and they look like there's more lashes on this side, but there really isn't. I did the same amount on both sides. It's really just due to the fact that they are a thinner lash, and it actually helps the set look fuller because they have a fluffier look to them. And I think it's something to do with how thin they are. They just kind of fluff out nicely, and then even the split tip still does a nice justice, but it just looks fluffier. It just has like a fuller look, which is so funny, but it really does. And I think that people really think that the 0.20s would make your lashes look fuller, but I personally think that the 0.15s really do a good job of making them look even fuller, to be honest. I feel like the 0.15s do cover more surface and more area, as the 0.20s have a bit of a scantier look to them, which is fine. I use 0.20s pretty often too, but I do know that when I have clients that have a little more spacing between their lashes, I like to use 0.15s because I think it fills up the eye a lot more. Okay, so now that you guys see what I'm talking about, this is something that I really wanted to share with you because I think it's actually super cool what you can do with different diameters, and when you start to change up your lashes and you start to kind of mix it up and see what you can and can't do and get a little creative and start experimenting, you can see the options you have and you see how much you can actually do with a classic. And a classic doesn't have to just be boring and natural and blah, or your starter set or whatever the case is. You can definitely do some fun stuff with classics. So that being said, that is the end of my video. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope that this was helpful and I hope that you learned something from this. If you already knew this, good for you, because it took me a while to figure it out. But if you didn't know this, I hope that this helps you, and I hope that you can do some sets and really see the difference, because I know I've seen the difference. So definitely try it out if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. I want to hear what you guys have to say if you've already done it before. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll be back with something new next time. Bye!